Stop playing.
All right. So Shabbat Shalom, Shavua Tov, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and mute everyone, and then we'll also have a chance. It's crazy, isn't it, that we are doing Havdalah at 5:30. You know, what a big change, but I think it's a wonderful change. It's a different time of year, but I think what's really exciting is that it's also reminiscent of Hanukkah is coming. And so we increase the light during this time. In the darkest time, we always increase the light. And of course, Havdalah is the quintessential bringing light into newness into this new week. So we take a candle with 2 wicks and we light it. And my beautiful wife is here with me as she holds the candle, and we prepare to enter into this wonderful, wonderful week. And we say a bracha before we sing the other brachot. So hine el Yeshua v'tiftach v'lo avchad ki uzi razim rat yavai li lishua u'shaftem b'imim asom b'min Yeshua l'Adonai Yeshua amcha v'chatech hasala Adonai tzavot imanu miskav lanu Elohei Yaakov sala Adonai tzavot ashred napatech bach Adonai Hashem elchinenu v'yom koreinu laYehudim haytaor v'simcha v'sason v'ikar ken tieh lanu kos Yeshuot esa u'v'shem Adonai akra. We take a Kiddush cup with wine or some kind of grape juice in it, in our right hand, as we say, Savri Chaverai L'chaim.
I am. Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Borei peri hagafen Borei peri hagafen Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Borei minei besamim Borei minei besamim Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Borei meorei ha'esh Borei meorei ha'esh Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Hamavdil ben kodesh lecho ben or lechosher Ben Yisrael Amim, Ben Yom Hashvi, L'Sheshet Yamei HaMaaseh, Baruch atah Adonai, Hamavdil ben Kodesh L'Chol. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 la.
So we take a drink of the grape juice or the wine, and we put the candle out in some of that. We don't drink all of it. There are many reasons why that we don't drink all of the grape juice. One of the reasons is that we should leave a little. We should leave a little to represent what is to come. And be careful of that smoke, Cantor. Hopefully it doesn't get into your eyes. So we say, praised are you, Adonai, our God, who rules the universe, endowing the creation and all creation with distinctive qualities, distinguishing between the sacred and the secular, between light and darkness, between the people Israel and others, between the seventh day and the 6 working days of the week. Praised are you, Adonai, who differentiates the sacred from the secular. And before we sing Eliyahu Hanavi and end with a bracha as we enter into this week is a week that has never happened before. It is a week that will never happen again. This is a beautiful week in front of us. And this week's Torah portion, Toldot, brings up an interesting issue. The idea of, isn't it true that we see what we want to see and we hear what we want to hear? It is a powerful realization for many of us that our senses really inform how we want things to go. If we want to see the world in a negative light, then we certainly will see the world in a negative light. If we want to hear some negativity or positivity in the world, that is what we will see and that is what we will hear. What has been a very, very important story in our tradition is when Esav is off in the field, and it is the time in which the sons Esav and Yaakov will receive a bracha. Jacob is known as a trickster, as somebody who makes a little bit of a trick through the direction of his mother, and Esav is to get the bracha. We all remember this story, but Jacob takes the bracha away, and what does he do? He dresses up. It is made to appear as though he looks like Esav, and he goes to his father, who his eyes have become dim. His eyes have become dim. He only sees what it is that he can see. He is limited in his sight. That is not a kind of quirk that he is blind. That is the wrong way to read it. We read it is that we all become blind to what it is that we want to see. Because if you remember correctly, doesn't Jacob's mom place some kind of skins on the arms of Jacob, and he goes to his father. He goes to Isaac and he says that he is Esav. But his father says, "You sound like you are my other son Jacob." And then he touches his arms and he says the famous quote, "You have the voice of Jacob, but the arms of Esav." We all remember this story. But if you were actually a father, and even if you were blind, would you not actually realize that that's not skin just draped over your son's arms? Don't we all recognize truly who our loved ones are? If your son, daughter, loved one, parent came into a room and you were not looking at them and they said something, wouldn't you immediately know who they are? So what is this? Jacob is not just tricking his father is allowing himself to be tricked. He is in a situation where he sees what he wants to see, he hears what he wants to hear, and he wants it to be something else. That is how many of us go through the world. And what I am suggesting is this week that we take a moment and we look at our week in a different way, that we look at the possibility. We don't go into the world looking at what it is that we want to see or what it is that we want to hear and making sure that the world then supports what it is that we want, but that we don't look at the world through problems, but that we look at the world through possibility. And I think what Jacob really was looking for wasn't just to get the bracha, but that there was a different possibility. And look at the joy and the excitement and the change in the trajectory of the Jewish people, that there was a different possibility, that the entire book of Genesis is about a different possibility. I'll end with this, that all of the stories in the book of Genesis do not end up as though they should. The younger brother always comes up above the older. We must learn from this that it's not always what it should be or what it ought to be or the way it is set up, but that there are always different possibilities. Let's not go into this week only looking at what we always thought could be, what was, what is, and going forward that way, but that we look forward at all the amazing possibilities that can be. If we go through the week that way, we all can agree that it will truly be an amazing week. I want to wish you a Shavua Tov, and we ask for this as we sing Eliyahu Hanavi. So grab a partner. If I'm next to the Nefs and the and the Cantors. I like that last name. The Cohens. Oh, now I'm next to my wife. So grab somebody, but be careful. Be careful not to poke somebody's eye out. And we sing together Eliyahu Hanavi.
Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi, Bimhera ve'yamenu, Yahavo Eleinu, Imashiach ben David, Mashiach ben David, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi.
One quick bracha before we conclude tonight. It's a Yiddish prayer. God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, protect your people Israel in their need as the holy beloved Sabbath takes its leave. May the good week come to us with health and life, good fortune and blessing, prosperity and dignity, graciousness and loving kindness, sustenance and success, with all good blessings and with forgiveness. And let us all say, Amen.
Amen.
Shavua tov,
Shavua tov.
It's going to be an amazing week. Let me unmute everyone if you can't do it yourself. Unmute all. And join us again. Well, we have a lot coming up this week, but Havdalah again next week will be early. So Shavua tov, everyone.